Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren.
Yes, I am.
She's right over there, everybody. How are you today, Lauren?
I am well. How are you?
I'm okay.
How many of these have we done?
130, well, at least 100, numbered 132.
Okay.
But I think more than 136 maybe, including the ones that do not have a number on them. Early on, I didn't know to number everything. Mm-hmm. But why are you asking?
Well, for some reason, when you say, and there's Lauren, it still sort of takes me by surprise.
Yeah. Well, it's just, some people call it, boring. Some people call it format. So it's the way we begin our time. Speaking of things that we've said 132 times, we're on Instagram. Wilder Show Pod is what you'll search. If you want to send us email to podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops on Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube. Also on the TikTok now and again. Wherever you get your podcasts, would you like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share, and comment? Even put questions. What did you think? What do you think? More engagement is good.
A little something that we talked about last week. You and I said that we check the comments on every platform.
Yes,
And then I think we decided that on some of those platforms, like on Apple Podcasts, I don't even know if you can leave a comment. Like if you listen on Spotify, it's fairly easy to leave a comment.
Sure.
If you listen on YouTube, fairly easy to leave a comment. So
thumbs up, anything, thumbs up, rate it. The 5 stars or whatever is the most stars. We only want the most stars. Only gold in the ballroom. Only gold.
You could also send us an email at podcast.
Sure you can.
At wildershow.com.
Yeah, and the thing there, though, is that doesn't help the algorithm. So when you do it on that's the thing. When you do it on the platform, wherever you're getting your podcasts, that engagement really matters. And, when you comment, I will likely comment back because that also helps.
Okay. And I didn't mean instead of.
Oh, no,
I just meant
of course.
a comment.
Always.
When I think of a comment,
that's right.
I think of something, brief. An email more like if you have a narrative you'd like to share.
That's right. That's a good point. That's an excellent point. This is Easter week. The other day was a Palm Sunday. Sorry to see about Tiger Woods. That is tragic, I think.
It's unfortunate for sure.
It's not good. And I think he has a problem. It looks like, selfishly, I don't want him to miss the Masters because that's part of my my springtime viewing.
And
it's always better.
Least of his worries right now.
No, I know. Well, he's not going to win it. He can't win it anymore. He barely has a right leg. I mean, I'm being serious because of the problems in the past accidents and whatnot. But he makes golf better. I mean, everything is better when he's a part of it. Sort of like you.
Thank you.
Huge March Madness. Man, that comeback from 19 points down by UConn over Duke. Look, they were down 15 points at halftime. And that was a crazy ending.
Pretty fun.
I mean, all Duke had to do was hold the ball. It's like 10 seconds. That was it.
I mean, it was fun if you were for UConn. Not so much if you weren't.
No, it's true. Going into that game, the record for one-seeded teams, so teams that are seeded number one, they were a perfect 134-0.
Man.
When leading by 15 points at halftime. Now that record is 134-1.
Not perfect anymore.
Gosh. Also, we'll get to the war in a second. Whatever you think about manifest destiny, back in the olden days, where we just took everything, between the colonies and the West Coast. It's ours. So whatever you think about that, I mean, whether it was right or wrong, I can tell you one thing, it was good. I'll tell you why it was good. Because now, centuries later, it is part of what keeps America safe. Not sharing our continent. I know we share it with Mexico and with Canada, but not sharing our continent with an enemy. We have vast oceans. I know it's a small world. You have intercontinental ballistic missiles and all kind of stuff. But at least you could see it coming, in theory. Having those vast oceans between our enemies or our potential enemies is a good thing. It contributes to keeping us safe. So hold on to that. I may come back to that. Let's talk about a perfect storm. You have to think like a bad guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to think like a bad guy. If I were a bad guy, wanted to do bad things, how would I do them?
Well, sometimes you have to think like a bad guy.
I mean, that's not to plan for doing bad things.
Maybe if you're trying to solve a crime.
Well, here you go. That is to prepare for them
Mm-hmm.
or to prevent them
Mm-hmm.
or to defend against them. You think like a bad guy who breaks into homes.
Yeah.
Right? To best set up the motion sensor lights and the alarms and the locks for the gates and stuff like that. You think like a bad guy to remember to take your pepper spray when you go to walk the dog or when you jog or when you go to the store. Not being paranoid, just being, prepared.
Yeah.
Being smart. In thinking like a bad guy, you would want to harm our country. You would want certain things to be in place. Have the right environment. Everything is ready. Everything is set. Like if you were a thief who was looking for the right house to break into, looking for an unlocked back door or a window that doesn't lock.
Yeah.
If you wished to do harm to our country, you might be looking for those openings. Something like that. A weakness, something that, would make working your evil ways more likely to succeed. We're currently in a war with a country that we have designated as the chief sponsor of global terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
A country that's been chanting death to America for 50 years, who is patient. They have proven that they can wait for the right opportunity to make their move. And it's a place that we see in the news even today. A news piece that there may be actually people in this country waiting to be activated for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to be the right time. You don't just do it whenever the sleeper cells get in place in, Toledo. You don't say, okay, let's get going.
Mm-hmm.
You plant them. You plant them and you wait. And you wait for things. You wait for the right time. From the New York Post, 1,500 Iranians were intercepted at the border during the Biden administration trying to get in the country. But unknown the number who got through and actually stayed in the country. And that's what is alarming officials.
Oh, yeah.
You say, wait a minute, you stopped them at the border. How did they get through? Well, Senator Bill Hagerty, Republican Tennessee, member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, previously served as U.S. ambassador to Japan during the first Trump administration, says, we have no idea how many people got around that. The numbers are increasingly disturbing and concerning. He says about half of those that were intercepted, the intercepted Iranians, during the Biden administration years, were released into the country to await hearings and trials. And in the meantime, disappeared, waiting for pending court cases.
Yikes.
So when the bad guys see that the back door is left unlocked or that the window lock is broken, the Biden years was perfect time to enter the country and perfect time for half of them, half of the 1,504 Iranians that were arrested at the border between 2021 and 2024. 700 were released into our country pending court cases. The perfect time. The Biden administration gave the perfect time. Now, but maybe not perfect time to strike, but perfect time to get in.
Yeah.
So time goes by, and then at some point, their homeland, their country is attacked by the United States. And it happens at a time when the U.S. government is in a shutdown. And the part of the government that is impacted the most is the thing called Homeland Security. The thing that actually was created after 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
There was no Homeland Security before 9/11. It was in response to 9/11 that we came up with Homeland Security to protect us from these very kind of things. So Homeland Security is not being funded. It impacts airport security. More than 500 trained agents, TSA agents, have quit. More and more every day are calling in sick. Lines are long. Passengers are frustrated. Mistakes could be made. Doors might be unlocked. Maybe this would be a good time. Homeland Security being shut down at any time puts us at risk, but especially when we're at war that we and Israel started with the country we have labeled as the greatest sponsor of global terrorism. And maybe nothing will happen. Maybe no one will open the unlocked door or crawl in the window with the broken lock, but we have to fund Homeland Security and have to get out of this war the combination of those two things puts us at great, great risk. Speaking of Homeland Security shutdown, the negative about that is not just today. There's a delay effect to shutting down. We talked about that. When the price of oil goes up, the price of gasoline, of course, goes up as a result. Talked about how the gasoline shoots up like a rocket,
right,
but comes down like a feather or down like a parachute. Mm-hmm. The negative thing is immediate. But the positive thing, the fix at the other end, there's a delay. So threatening to blow up, for example, the energy infrastructure, or in fact doing that, will result in something immediately, something bad. But it also does something in the future that is just as bad or maybe even worse. Those prices, those gasoline prices, will stay high well beyond the time we are no longer bombing facilities or the Strait of Hormuz has been reopened. But there's a delay. There's a delay to that. There's an echo to that. And it's not just the price of gasoline. Look back at the government shutdown, TSA agents not being paid. The immediate effect is TSA not being paid, but being required to go to work. Agents calling in sick, whole bunch of them quitting, as we talked about, results in longer lines. So that's the immediate result. But the inconvenience is not the most important impact of shutting down Homeland Security. It's threat to our safety. That is the most important immediate result, but there is also an echo to that. There is a lingering effect to that when Homeland Security is being shut down. We still need great people at the TSA, right? They have to be trained or have to be retrained. The longer impact can be, how do we get them back? If they've quit, how do we get them to come back? But it's even bigger than that. Who in their right mind would go work for any organization that so far this year you have worked all of the time but have only been paid half of the time? Half of the time you have worked this year, in this short span of the year, you have not been paid. Who in their right mind, if they're not in that business, would get in that business? And who in their right mind, if they had an option, who is in that business, would not get the heck out of that business? That's part of the impact of the shutting down. Again, it's an echo. These are all tied together, but one more. The way the president has dealt with this thing, radical threats, will obliterate you. Only unconditional surrender is acceptable. He threatened to destroy the civilian infrastructure, or even worse, doing it. And then you saw the recent threat, even like on social media, he made just yesterday. We just might attack the desalination plants. You see that?
I didn't.
First of all, it's never going to happen. I'll detail it in a second. But you don't threaten to say, we're going to make sure none of you have water. This is a part of the world that if they don't have desalination, obviously, even if you don't know the word, you know the word, the meaning of the word, you take the saline out of the water. The desalination plants, I've heard some people say desalinization. It's not it. It's desalination. The desalination plants. You're going to destroy those? Why? Why would you destroy those? That's for the people. That's not nuclear. That's not government. That's for the people. That is civilian infrastructure. But the very fact that the president makes these kinds of threats, destroy the salination plant that supplies drinking water to the country, if a deal to end the war is not reached shortly. That's what he said in the social media post. He keeps claiming about some diplomatic progress, and Tehran says, no, there's no, we're not talking. And then the president also is ramping up threats. So if you're making all this progress, why would you say, and we're going to make sure you don't have water for the entire country? That country only has about a 1 month supply of water. If you destroy the desalination plants, they will have zero water in 1 month for anyone in the country, for 90 million people. Zero water.
Is it that he thinks making threats like that is progress?
Yes, he does. He is used to making threats and then backing off, making threats, and then saying, look, it was my strongness that made it possible for this to get done. But here's the problem, and this is where we get to another echo effect. The lesson that other countries are learning by watching this is deadline, then reprieve, then the I'm serious deadline, and then delay, and then the I'm totally serious deadline. It's not going to happen. There is no way they're going to destroy the desalination plants, and making that threat is foolish because other countries are watching. They're figuring out it's not going to matter. He's not going to do it. There's no way he's going to do it. He's bluffing. You can call his bluff. Don't worry about it. You know, we got much bigger fish to fry than the fish we're frying for Israel. Seriously. We have much bigger fish to fry. A lot of our elements should be paying attention to China and Taiwan. That is something we should be paying attention to. That's something we could say that is our battle. You think Israel's going to help us with Taiwan? Think they'll do anything to help with Taiwan if we need their help with Taiwan? It's not going to happen. I say we better not be attacking civilian infrastructure. I would say don't even threaten it. When you threaten it, it's just idle threats. I've said this before. My dad did not make idle threats. If he told you to do something and what would happen if you didn't do it, man, there was no doubt.
You could count on it.
You could absolutely count on it. If the foot of that chair went down and he walked over to the built-ins to reach up to get that wooden paddle, there was no doubt how that was going to end. Zero. He never got that down and said, okay, I'll put it back. No, no, you know, Dad, he's kind of a hothead. You know, he says he's going to do it, but, you know, he talks tough, but no, it's not going to, no, trust me. It was happening. If he walks over there toward it, it was going to happen. And there was strength in that.
Sure. I had the same thing. I just didn't have brothers. So I think maybe I saw it less than you did just because we were a little bit more docile.
You're probably more well-behaved.
Too.
Yeah, probably. Well, you know, boys and girls. Boys and girls are different. NASA. We're going to take a look at the moon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, blasting off is scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll see. You know, landing on the moon was supposed to take place. That's been way delayed. That has now been put off to 2028. They originally wanted to land on the moon by 2024. Mike Pence back in 2019. He directed NASA to land astronauts on the moon by 2024. So now we're looking at 2028 because, you know, technology isn't what it was back in 1969. Just a couple of quick hits. When did we start calling it call out when we mean calling in sick? When did we start doing that? Why do people do that? I don't know. Like people have started jumping on it. Is that an overseas thing? Is that a thing like the line is the cue, or saying that someone went to hospital instead of went to the hospital?
I don't know if it's an overseas thing. I do hear my kids talk about it as it
I'm
relates to
their
to their coworkers.
They called out.
You know, if somebody who's one of my kids has, you know, people who work for him, and he'll say, you know, I had 3 people call out. So I know that it is something that they say. I don't know that it came from overseas though. Yeah,
I don't know. It's just I've never. You hear it on the news. It's like there has been an official adopting of it. It is now officially adopted. Yeah. So you don't say someone called in sick. You say called out. What did they call out? They call out that they're trapped at the end of a crevasse.
They called and said they will be out. I think that they don't.
That's weird.
They don't go to the trouble necessarily anymore of saying, you know, that I called in sick. That they're calling out of work when they're not sick. Yeah. So I'm not going to call and say that I'm sick.
No,
I'm not really.
I thought you would. I thought the whole point was what it meant was that they were calling in to their work to tell them that they were sick. Yeah, I'm calling in.
I don't. Yeah,
sick. I call. Hey, is Scott there? No, he called out. What did he call out? Was he trapped? No, he called. You're
thinking too hard.
Anyway.
They call. It's just the short way of saying they called and said they won't be coming to work. They're just right. we used to say called in sick.
That's right.
instead of saying, he called and said that he couldn't come in because somebody in his house, he's got a sick kid and he
Yeah,
can't come
I
in.
got it.
He's not sick, but
No, I
they
understand.
called out for whatever reason.
Called in
They're not
sick.
going to
Got
be
it.
here. They're
All
not
right.
going to be in. They're going to be
I
out.
got it. All right. Well, I'm not going to put my luggage in the boot of my car.
Okay.
And I'm not going to ride the lift or ride a lorry.
You stand strong on that.
No Kings. I watched over the weekend.
Okay.
No Kings. One more before Scattershoot. Did you watch the Hodokape Savannah Guthrie thing on Friday night?
I didn't. I read about it, but I didn't watch it.
How was it received? How was it written about? What did they say? The people who wrote.
I mean, I don't think that I read anything that you would call an opinion piece about it. I read like little
the facts of it.
There were a lot of little excerpts of it, I think, in an effort to get people to watch it. So I saw I saw those things in the setup for those things.
Well, they sprinkled it out. They did the interview. It was going to be on Dateline.
Yeah.
And they paced it out like in the old ratings week, the opening of ratings period. In the olden times of television. And they had little tiny pieces, little teases all week long on the Today Show. And then they would release those to other outlets to also say, here's some new stuff. I don't want to be too critical, but I didn't like it. I didn't think it was great. It was
how so? Like be a little
it'll
more
make me sound
specific.
mean if I detail it. I just thought it was it struck me that Savannah Guthrie, no, first of all, I believe her mother is no longer with us. It's very sad. And I'm sad for her and wish she had never had to go through it. So none of this is conspiracy stuff or anything. Just the process of doing what was being done, a regular viewer, a normal viewer, or really a normal human might watch it and think, well, that is one person being very sensitive and hearing the story of Savannah Guthrie.
Yeah.
But you have to remember what these people do for a living. Savannah Guthrie has done a ton of interviews of other people who are telling their story of their missing person or the person caught in the avalanche or whatever, frozen on the mountain,
right?
Or whatever. And the interviewer, you learn to take your time, draw them in, don't interrupt them if they are crying. Let them go. This is promotable stuff. And I'm not saying that Hodokape should have interrupted or anything like that. But I was thinking about Savannah Guthrie.
Yeah.
I mean, is she basically she's interviewing herself? She's feeding all the things that she knows, or is it really a genuine down-home conversation that happened to be captured with perfect lighting and good mics? I would have felt better if they had done a little walk and talk, but it really was like 45 minutes, probably 2 hours. They sat and they cried together and. Hoda had her "I'm really genuine" look on her face and all this stuff. And then they would do every now and then little pieces of other parts of the story. But I didn't really understand why they did it.
I don't know. There's something about this. I mean, I can watch Dateline until the cows come home. I really can. I had no interest in this. And I don't know if it was because
it was different.
It felt more produced because I was aware of how kind of in the club, everybody like what you're asking for, and I know what I'm supposed to give you.
Say.
And
I know.
I'm not. That makes me sound
cold.
terrible.
I
don't. It almost seems like some of that might just be automatic because of who they are and what they do for a living. It would be hard to divorce yourself from that kind of behavior when that's what you do for a living and have been doing it for such a long time. And I already feel like I know so much.
I watched it all because it was on, but I didn't really care for it that much.
Yeah,
I wasn't even going to go that deeply into what I thought about it. But there was something she said in that interview that I think is new information. I'm going to read you what she said in part of the time with Hodokape. Here's what Savannah Guthrie said. And she's talking about the time when she's reflecting on the time when she and her siblings sat down to make that first video addressing the kidnapper. Okay?
Yeah.
She says, how is it possible that we are having to make a video speaking to a kidnapper who took an 84-year-old woman in the dead of the night, in her pajamas, without shoes, without her medicine? This little person. And to beg for mercy. She means beg for mercy. She and the siblings begging for mercy from the person that they're wondering might have kidnapped the mother. What stands out to you about what she asked, what she said? Anything?
Well, she seems to know a lot. I mean, well, they knew it was the dead of night. They knew it happened overnight, right? Mm-hmm. They already knew that she didn't have her medicine. They knew she didn't have her medicine. They didn't know that there wasn't. Right. They weren't able to get access to more of that medicine.
Now, those two things are the only things that we knew. What else did she say she knew?
Well, took her in her pajamas.
How do we know that?
Well, I guess we don't. I mean, unless they could tell that there were no other clothes that were missing.
Uh-huh. What else did she say?
Well, she said no shoes.
How did she know that?
Well, I mean, I guess if she only had...
To inventory all the shoes?
Maybe, I don't know. That does seem a little far-fetched.
No, that's weird. No, that's weird.
Yeah.
That is new information. That she is now reflecting on the thing, and she says, why are we sitting here having to make a video? How is it possible we're having to make a video? Speaking to a kidnapper who took an 84-year-old woman, the dead of the night, in her pajamas, with no shoes, without her medicine. This little person. That's new. Mm-hmm. That's new. They mentioned our January 11th date again.
Yeah.
They're still looking for video evidence surveillance video from January the 11th. Anyway, I just thought that was a little bit new. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is time for Scattershoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show Scattershoot. All right. If you haven't liked, rated, follow, subscribe, thumbs up, all stars, commented, questioned, all the rest, you could do that right now as we begin Scattershoot.
Yes, you could. Do you remember in the wake of the Super Bowl when we talked about Strava and the young man who...
Is that a sweetener?
No, not even close.
I'll take my iced tea, but I like Strava.
With some Strava in my iced tea.
Some lemon, a fresh lemon wedge, and one packet of Strava.
No, it's not that. We talked about the guy who got a job as a part-time palm tree for halftime, for Bad Bunny's halftime show.
I got you.
And he recorded his time as a palm tree on his Strava and then posted it for everybody to see, how many steps he took.
That's right. That's
and the moves he made.
It's a fitness thing.
It's a fitness thing. You can track your walks
Strava.
And your runs and your swims, your bikes to work and all of those things.
I've seen people who do that.
Well, a French sailor posted a run. Just a 35-minute run that he recorded his progress on his smartwatch, and then he posted it for all of his followers to see what a great job he did, what his time was, and his pace, and all of that.
Everybody's very proud of him.
The only problem was he was on the deck of the Charles de Gaulle on an aircraft carrier in the Mediterranean Sea, where he was supposed to be in an undisclosed location. So you can't do that. French President Emmanuel Macron had announced the carrier strike group's journey to the Middle East amid the intensifying war between America and Israel and Iran, but said that the precision and timing of that data is sensitive. But the young lad who is not named in this particular piece wasn't thinking about that when he was there. I mean, and it wasn't. I mean, it was a 2-mile run. It was not even that big a deal. But it's unfortunate. Something he should have thought of for sure. But it is a great reminder that if you're using something like that, it's not uncommon for people to record their bike to and from work every day.
That's right.
And if you have a public account, anybody could be seeing that.
Why?
And you're what are you giving away?
Why?
You're giving away when you leave every day, and from where you're leaving. Let's see, where is that bike when it gets home at 5:15 in the afternoon? And if you're not really careful, you're just leaving a whole lot of information out there to be seen by, like you said before, think like a bad guy. It's another good opportunity to think like a bad guy.
Well, if people know where you are, they know where you're not, right?
Yep.
I mean, let's say they're not you're not at your house, but if you're not at your house, maybe your stuff is still at your house, or if you're not at your house and you have people that you live with, maybe they are not protected by you.
Yeah.
There, I don't know what people's obsession is with their own stuff.
And it's also they want to be really careful to note that this is not an error inside the app.
Oh,
the
no,
app
it's the guy.
offers lots of opportunities to hide your data. So it's not Strava's fault at all.
No, not at all.
It's and all of these things that people do. It's just because they're not paying close enough attention to their privacy settings, or maybe they don't care and they don't know why they should.
They're obsessed with everyone else knowing all of their their
PRs. You like a good trip to Home Depot, don't you?
I do. Over time, I've sort of become more of I can't remember why. It was some stance they took on something. I can't recall. But I became more of a Lowe's person.
Oh, really?
I'm as close to one as the other, maybe. But I kind of like the layout of Lowe's better. You know how it is when you go to the grocery store.
There's a difference?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it kind of depends. Other than the colors, there is a standout color at Home Depot. Yeah. You could plot me in the middle of either one of those. I would have no idea where I was.
Yeah, I there is, and also you have some default tools, the tools that are sold as sort of, the old days.
I know where you're going.
What's that?
Craftsman and Sears.
It was only Sears. You could only get Craftsman tools at Sears.
Yeah.
And it was a lifetime warranty. You have a wrench that goes bad, whatever. You take it back, get a new one.
Those were the days.
Oh, it was great. That and the Die Hard battery. Get the Die Hard battery at Sears and get Craftsman tools at Sears. Those were fun. Those were good days. Anyway, yeah. So.
I never thought I'd hear you reminisce about shopping.
Yeah, well, I don't really. Two things. Hardware stores I know it is shopping. Hardware stores and electronics stores. I guess we don't really do electronic stores anymore so much. But, there was a day when you'd go to a place and it was like all they sold was electronics. And over here you look at radios, and over here you look at televisions. Over here you look at computers, and over here you look at other things. And that's a place, if you're going to go somewhere else to shop, if you could drop me off at the hardware store, like I like Elliott's.
Yeah.
Or at an Ace or something like that.
Yeah.
So more smaller with
I like a smaller
mom and
place,
pop-ish.
Somebody who can really answer your question.
That's right. And so, but you drop me off there, and I wouldn't complain. I'm not but that's really about it. Everything else, I don't really like to shop.
You might have a lot more in common with your grandson than you know.
What's that?
There's a young mom who got a lot of attention this week for taking her 15-month-old son to Home Depot as a way to entertain him. She thought, where could I take him where he can open cabinets and open drawers and touch a lot of stuff that he's not, climb on a lot of furniture that he maybe is not allowed to at home.
Interesting.
And run up and down aisles. Plus, they open at 6 o'clock in the morning and there aren't a lot of people there then.
That's right.
So if the weather's bad, if it's rainy or if it's cold here, like in the heat of the summer, take the kid someplace where he can do all the things that he's done. I mean, of course, you got to watch him.
That's right.
Watch him like a hawk to make sure he doesn't like stick a nail in his mouth or
something. Yeah, you don't want to turn him loose over by the bandsaw.
No. I think this could backfire though. Part of our family lore is a home improvement project that was taking all day long. Okay. And near the end of the day, sometime around dinner time, when about the fourth or fifth trip, was about to be taken,
to Home Depot.
and Austin was told that, come on, buddy, we're going to Home Depot. Home Depot again. I mean, he barely had words. He was so little, but he knew that was not where he wanted to go.
Yeah, I had a story I thought that would be a good promotional thing for Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah.
And that is, if you come back on your third trip back on a single day, you get a free ball cap.
I think a lot of people are coming back.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like I go there and I get something. I think, oh my, that wasn't the right one.
Yeah.
Or I go back and take it back, or maybe don't even take it back and go back and get the right thing. That's funny. So that could be a little outing for John West and Pops.
Yeah, not too much though. Just every once in a while.
A little bit. Okay.
Don't want the newness to wear off.
Good point.
If you gave me a multiple choice test and you gave me 4 options and said, what of these 4 things, which is the most likely to be chosen as a scientific research study? I don't even have to know what all of them would be, but I know that this would be the one that I would be least likely to choose.
What is it?
First of all, it kind of came as I'd never really considered this. I used to, years ago, I don't know if they're really in, maybe they're still, I guess they're still in fashion. When I was younger, I went through a period of time when I wore my nails kind of long.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess it's been several decades since I've done that. Because
Are girls doing that less now, or is
I see some girls,
a lot of long.
Some girls who have long nails, but I never really thought about it. I never questioned. I wonder how they navigate their touch screens with those nails.
Huh? But you did work on a word processor, right?
I typed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's sort of
they were never
sort of the same.
No,
maybe not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, really. Okay. So is that a problem now?
It is a problem now.
Really?
Yes. A young woman an undergraduate at Centenary College of Louisiana had an interest in cosmetic chemistry.
Okay.
And she went to her research supervisor looking for a suitable project. Her research supervisor is an organometallic chemist.
Exactly.
Another word I've never spoken in my life.
I think you have to be careful how you say that one.
Organometallic. I'm not going to say it anymore.
Yeah, organometallic.
Good point. Yeah. Well, so he said chemists are here to solve problems and try to make the world better.
Okay.
So we look for problems that people are having, and then we try to figure out a way to solve them. And what this woman, Manasi Desai, who's the undergrad at Centenary, what she took a little survey of things that people were having problems with, and apparently a lot of people really do have a challenge using a touch screen with their long nails. Right. So she set out to try to figure out how to make the world better for everyone who wants to keep their long nails and still navigate their touch screens.
And my first thought is, so that is some percentage of 51% of the people.
You think so?
Right? Well, I mean, it's
maybe
probably.
Yeah.
Probably the long nails that are the problem, mostly, or with girls. And probably it is not with all the girls.
Yeah.
And probably it is of a certain age of girl.
Maybe so.
So you've got it's narrow, it's niche, but it sounds like she was really motivated.
I think that's probably why I wouldn't have seen this as something that we would go to a lot of trouble to research, but it is kind of interesting.
For them.
Most modern touch screens, like the ones on our smartphones and tablets and things like that, are known as capacitive touch screens. I didn't know what a capacitive.
Is that probably from the word capacitor, right? It's
maybe.
Capacitor.
I guess so.
That passes on signals. Isn't that what a capacitor does?
So they work by creating a small electric field across the screen. So when conductive material, something that allows electricity to flow through itself, like your finger, disrupts that field, your finger or a droplet of water. Have you ever noticed how if you drop a little drop of water, it gets on your touch screen, it messes everything up until you can get that drop of water off. The surface changes its capacitance. Then the device interprets that capacitance change as a touch. And your fingernail, you can't tap your touch screen.
It's not pressure sensitive
with a fingernail.
That's right.
Yeah, because there is no it is not conductive.
Correct.
There's nothing there that is conductive. So to make long fingernails touchscreen compatible, they needed to find a way for them to carry a small electric charge. And the way that they did that is with nail polish.
That's interesting.
Really, it seems like you could take this way beyond
Mm-hmm.
nails
Mm-hmm.
too. It's not, and make anything something, make anything conductive if you just painted that nail polish on the tip of it. Of course, there are a lot of things that you want it to be clear. You need it to be non-toxic. This is not the first time that this has been attempted. Other researchers have tried to figure this out too, but a lot of the materials that they used were they would either make a colored polish. They didn't want to do that. Sometimes the polish was toxic. We certainly can't do that. Toxic if not, and not just if touched, but if inhaled. So it was dangerous even to the manufacturer.
Gotcha.
And then obviously to the wearer too. So they're getting through this with a lot of trial and error, finding a lot of things that don't work. And they said, if you do that long enough, eventually you'll find something that does. Yeah. So maybe, at the end of this long, dark night, there will be a solution for people who like to wear their nails long and still need to navigate a touchscreen.
You're saying they haven't figured it out yet?
No, they have not figured it out yet, but they're working on it.
It's like Thomas Edison, right?
Yeah.
Weren't you discouraged? No, I knew that I discovered 10,000 ways it didn't work. That's what he's alleged to have said. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Good news for us.
Good news. Good. Everybody needs some good news.
I think good news for us as podcasters.
Oh, okay.
This is from a few years ago, but I think that it has to only be getting better. The number of new podcasts launched experienced an 80% drop from 2020 to 2022.
Wow.
An 80% drop.
80% drop.
Now think of those years. 2020, what year was that?
Yeah, it's the pandemic.
It was the year that do you remember going into, there's a store where we go sometimes to buy equipment, recording equipment, microphones, things like that. I remember seeing this giant display of microphones that we had never seen before because everybody wanted a microphone because everybody was starting a podcast in their closet. So by 2022, that fell from more than 1 million to around 219,000. That's your 80% drop.
So the good news is the worst we could do is be 219,000.
Yeah.
So we're no longer 1 million. We cheer on all the quitters. We want all you people who quit after 3 episodes.
Well, you know what they call it?
What
They call this drop.
What is that?
Podfade.
Podfade. Yeah, I think podfade. I hope we don't have a podfade in listener activity. I mean, just generally as a podcasting.
There's got to be another name
community,
for that.
If there is a community. But yeah, but I think fewer. Everybody wants to try. It's like everybody never seen so much baking going on as went on in 2020. Everybody was a baker.
Well, we needed to fill the time.
No, I understand. Yeah.
I think there's a little bit less of a. I don't want to make it seem like what we're doing is brain surgery or anything like that. But I do think there is a lot of looking at. Well, probably everything that we look at. From the outside looking in, you think, how hard could it be?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you might sit above a brain surgeon and think,
yeah.
How hard could it be? I could probably do that.
It's not even a very heavy knife. It's a little tiny knife. That straw he uses to fix stuff. Not that big a deal. No, but I think part of it is everybody run around and find stuff that that you can do, that you like to do. People like to. I know some people that are now they have a going concern on bread and stuff. You still make bread.
I do make bread. I started way after the pandemic.
No, I know. I almost bought. I'm not going to buy one right now. I'm thinking about making bread, but I'm going to make bread. Like not sourdough bread, I don't think. I'm going to make loaves of bread.
Okay.
I'm going to make lots and lots of loaves of bread.
When are you going to start that?
Not today.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make.
Why?
I don't want to spend the money on it right now. What's my why? My why to do it or why not to do it right now?
Either.
Why to do it is I think I see a marketing opportunity. No, I don't. Not at all. No, I think I'd like to try to make some blueberry lemon zest cake or bread.
You can buy
like to make
a box that has almost everything you need in it
Yeah, I
for
know.
blueberry
Well,
lemon.
but so can you on your stuff. But you make it still. You can go to the store. They have a bunch of sourdough there. Why are you making this?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah. Oh my!
Making
This
sourdough
is
is
it's good.
pretty
This
easy.
machine makes it easy.
You're going to get a bread machine?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We used to have a bread machine.
I'll say a bread machine.
Yeah,
It's
bread machines are cool.
It's got a thing. It's got a little trap door in there too. Have you seen the new ones?
I have
not. It's got a trap door where you put in things like the blueberries or the nuts or whatever, and it will apportion them. Basically, you just dump the stuff in and hit a button and walk away.
Nice.
So I'm not really doing much. I mean, I'm not doing anything right now. But even when I'm doing stuff, I don't think I'll be doing much.
Have you bought the bread machine yet? No. Where'd you get this idea?
Probably TikTok. Hey, speaking of that real quick, I killed a bunch of time over the weekend. I mean, a bunch of time. Did all my normal things you're supposed to do on Palm Sunday. And I spent a ridiculous amount of time. If you want a giggle, if you want a real giggle, go on your favorite social media platform that has videos, like Reels, right? You got Reels on Facebook, you got Reels on the Instagram, you got the, obviously TikTok has these, and search Hot Dave's Chicken Reaper Challenge. You will laugh out loud.
It's Hot Dave's or Dave's Hot?
What did I say?
You said Hot Dave's.
I guess I was thinking of a different thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to edit that out. That would be funny if I could leave it. What's it called? Dave's Hot?
I don't know.
You're right.
I've never seen it, but I'm thinking
it's the name
we're
Dave's
probably
Hot.
not commenting
Dave's
on
Hot Chicken. Hold on a second.
Dave is.
Got it. It's Dave's Hot Chicken. That's the name of a restaurant, I think.
Yeah.
Dave's Hot Chicken. Dave's Hot Chicken Reaper Challenge. And it is, you will laugh out loud. It is, you have to sign a waiver if you buy the Reaper chicken.
Okay.
It's like hotter than hot. I mean, it's very spicy, very spicy. And they have one, they have one thing that is called the Reaper Roulette. And they sell it. Ideally, you have it with two people eat it. It's a box of chicken tenders. And only one of the chicken tenders is the Reaper. So you're sitting there,
So one of you is going to get the.
I take one thing and I eat it, and it wasn't me.
I can already tell you, I'm not going to watch this.
Oh my goodness!
I will just have to live vicariously.
Oh my
through
goodness!
You.
I'm not kidding. It is so ridiculous, and because you can see on people's faces the moment at which it really is kicking in, and there's nothing they can do about it. They cannot go back in time. Anyway, I don't get people who already have a proclivity of staying too long on social media. I just never do that. And I saw that over the weekend and I thought, that is so funny. And I looked up, 2 hours later and had other stuff to do.
Did you go get some chicken? I mean, they probably hoped it would sell some chicken.
That's another thing. What they do is people eat like one bite. And they don't eat anymore.
Yeah.
So you're selling tons of chicken nobody's eating because they don't want it. But people want to, they think that, I like spicy food. This is not a problem. This may be a problem for me. It's like, dude, really seriously. So before you do it, if you want to do it, just watch some of the people. Because some of the people you go, if that guy can't do it, I don't think I can do it.
That could satisfy your curiosity.
Yeah, I think so. It mainly was just funny. Funny to watch, like a husband and wife doing it. People doing it. And people are eating in their cars and videotaping it. Such a weird world we live in. We have part of the world is, there's no water and people are building homes like with manure. And the other people are unboxing fast food and rolling video to post it. It's like all in the same world at the same time.
Maybe they'll go viral.
Gosh. It's too bad people didn't have water, but you know what? I got to get my hit count up.
Sad.
Oh, one more thing. I almost bought you some ice cream. I almost brought it today. I
one of the kinds that we talked about?
The two, I was going to eat each of them.
Oh.
Yeah. And somebody else said there's something called, what's it called? Somebody put a comment section was talking about one of the ones, something like chocolate roof or something like that. One of the ones that was the
tin roof Sunday.
Yeah, that was it.
It's not
Tin
chocolate roof.
Tin roof Sunday. Anyway,
is that a new one?
no,
I don't think that's new though,
no,
right?
when we were talking about our favorites, somebody was saying that their favorite was
yeah.
the chocolate roof. Instagram, search Wilder Show Pod. You'll find us there on Instagram. By the way, that is the Wilder Show Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have commented and engaged. It's making a difference. It's been a long time sowing seeds in this field. So thanks for the watering. If you want to send us an email, you can also do that for the longer stuff. Podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show Podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, and on the TikTok now and again. So wherever you get your podcasts, would you please like, rate, follow, subscribe, and share? We really appreciate that. And Lauren, thank you.
You bet.
We'll see you next time.
Do 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 do